What's happening, everybody? Good evening and welcome to the triumphant coverage of the return of Mike Missanelli. My name's Plunk. I'm here to cover Mike Missanelli's grand return to radio. I've been following Mike from before he left radio all the way through his time off of radio. I can prove it, man. I got the Run the Ball classic shirt from the John Kincaid show. I've got Mike's very own Shima the Shibu book, the Shiba, written by the Mike Missanelli. So you can tell, man, I'm in deep. So I was so down when I heard that Mike was returning to radio. So I'm here to bring you the highlights. Some of the slip ups, as we all know. Anytime you've taken some time off from something, it's going to take a little while to get those training wheels back on track. And we're here to cover it all, from the controversy to the surprises that Mike's brought us along the way. I'm hoping to kind of pull off like a little bit of like a Dog Days of Summer vibe here with the bucket hat and, like the old throwaway radio like giveaway shirt. So, we'll see if we can cultivate that here for you at the end of the summer. What you're really here for is Mike's big return to radio. So on Monday, the Mike Missanelli show returned to 97.5 The Fanatic. They've chopped off the of the Mike Missanelli show. And so let's see how Mike came back after just over 2 years away from radio.
Oh, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Mike.
My name is Mike Missanelli. I've been on vacation for a couple of years. So just a couple of...
Except it's not afternoon. It's the morning, but that's okay. We can forgive him. He was on afternoon for years. This is his first time back on the morning.
quick thoughts as we get started here on the new show. I'm going to be honest with you. Being back on the air here at 97.5 today does seem a little weird. I could never expected to walk through these doors again. So I'm a little nervous. Take it easy on me today, and we'll all be good. I feel like it.
Don't worry, Mike. We'll be gentle. We'll skip ahead to 5:25, in fact, for you, Mike. We'll skip some of your intro here.
The things that were going on, and hopefully I continue the podcast. But I really did miss the day-to-day phone interaction with everybody, especially when things were really going on. So I'm back. And let me give kudos.
I do think that was the number one thing that Mike missed about the whole being on radio thing. He definitely seemed to kind of feel lonely on his podcast. It was sad, man. I feel like he's someone who thrives on human interaction. So I absolutely believe, I don't think there's any way he's going to keep that podcast going. Who has the time? Who wants to run a whole side podcast when you've got a successful radio slot? Forget that podcast, Mike. Just move on from it, man.
To a couple of men who made this happen. First of all, our new program director. His name is Scott Masteller. Scott and I, good man, always has the back of his employees, and both of these guys pushed hard for me to come back here. Now,
so Mike's he's got some responses for the haters. 2 streams ago, we were covering the announcement of the return of Mike Missanelli. So let's see what Mike has to say to all of the haters now.
I know that there are people out there who are very excited about me coming back, and I'm sure we're going to hear from a lot of the folks that I've talked to over the years, but also some that may not be. Here's the quotes I've been hearing.
Do you own your own home?
Oh, sorry, everybody.
Still
Let's
paying
mute
for
that.
electricity? You could be missing out on free
we must
government
have had it
assistance.
paused for too long. Oh, well. Them's the breaks, everybody. Look, they're asking us a question. Previously,
why are you bringing this fossil back? He's too old.
What'd they say, Mike?
Here's the quotes I've been hearing. Why are you bringing this fossil back? He's too old. He's this, he's that. Listen, I get it. I'm not mad at you. But it's not like I'm Joe Biden. And
whoa, Joe Biden joke. It's almost like they sat Mike down. They're like, Mike, half our listeners are not of your political beliefs. What are you going to do to win them over? And he went, I know. I'll make a Biden joke. Okay. He's trying.
Anybody who's ever listened to me knows that I'm at least 25 years less mature than my age. So there's that. So we'll get along that way. So on that note, Let me introduce my cohorts here on the new Mike Missanelli show. First of all, Bouncing Bill Colarulo is in the studio with
Bill's the man.
me. The last time I saw Bill, which was just a couple of weeks ago, he had hair and he shaved his head. I came in, I thought it was the WWE guy at first. Bill, how you making out?
Oh, good, my brother. You weren't supposed to see any of those tweets I wrote about you, though.
Well, listen, I realize Bill is pure. We worked together on a post game show last year for the Eagles. Bill is Mr. Football. He's Mr. Positive Football. So, like, this show will probably be set up like everybody will look at me like the bad cop.
We all want mean Mike, mean Mike, mean Mike, mean Mike.
Everybody look at Bill like the good cop, the pro Eagle guy. But we're gonna.
Look, don't just box him in and say he's going to be good cop. I'm sure there's more to Bill than just being good cop.
Have some fun with this.
You call it positive. I call it being objective.
Bill kind of looks like Andrew Tate, doesn't he?
When it's time to be negative, I will be negative.
All right. I like that.
I try to be objective.
And our producer for the
That's good. Bill pushing back right away on the new big dog in the hen house.
show, and I've heard nothing but great.
Doesn't make any sense. Big dog in a hen house.
I don't really know Ray, but I've heard, like, people have come up to me, Ray's the best. Oh, Ray's great. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the kid, Ray Dunne. Ray, glad to be with you here.
So much money for those people to say that to you.
Why do you have to sun him by calling him the kid? You know what I mean? When I say sunning him, it's when an older dude comes into a situation and like refers to a younger guy as sonny or kid. That's where the son aspect of that comes from. It's meant to be endearing, I know, but I mean, ultimately, you just kind of end up making the younger dude in the situation feel a little bit awkward about the fact that, like, again, you're sunning him. Hey, look at this kid. And apparently Ray Dunne is a non-existent see-through person. All right, let's skip ahead to 7:34. Oh, wait, that was 7:34. Let's skip ahead to 8:40. All right, 8:40. I'm going to show you the next highlight. Oh, 38. That was pretty close.
Isn't entertaining. We're not doing our job. And I promise one thing. There won't be any dumbass hot takes here.
No hot takes. We're going to hold you to that, Mike. No hot takes. We're going to hold you to that. It is something that is not only littering sports talk radio in Philadelphia, but talk radio in general. All 3 other programs that take place that aren't sports talk in this city.
I mean, since I've been away, people have come up to me saying, I haven't listened to a lot of sports talk radio. This guy on this other station said this.
It was making him sick.
Well, they need to move Trey Turner to right field when he comes back from his injury. Or Bryce Harper doesn't run out balls all the time. And opinions like that, to me, are an insult to Philly sports. Good logic.
All right, now this next one, pretty good.
And analysis. And here's one last thing. There won't be any unwelcome kisses. All right?
There won't be any unwelcome kisses. Woo! Mike getting spicy with Howard. Like, oh, gotta love him for going there, man. You gotta love. Let's see how the co-hosts react.
Hey, not even to Bill or Ray.
They know what he's talking about.
Hey, is that okay with you guys?
Well, 6 minutes in.
It's a little bit of a bomb amongst his co-hosts, but don't worry, Mike. The fans laughed. All the listeners laughed.
We're off to the races here, Ray.
Unwelcome kisses on this show.
We are off to the races already.
All right.
I love it, Mike.
So welcome to the new Mike Missanelli show with Bill Colarulo and the kid, producer Ray Dunne. We're going to
The kid again. He sons him again. We know he's younger than you, Mike. Move on.
get to a lot of substance today. There's a lot of stuff going on. And, you know, I know that people are going to be calling and welcome back, or people say, why are you in the air? But see, this.
I was going to buy some gym shorts that cost me $60
Oh my
each.
God,
but after hearing about this $10 shorts deal, I never.
I do.
This is why I'm trying to take a more mature attitude. Yeah.
We'll have to figure that out. On
this is why I'm trying to take a more mature attitude about this. I'm a little older now.
So you've matured.
I've gotten a little mature over the years. And I go to myself.
Throwing his age around. He's throwing his age around a lot here. I wonder if that's a little bit of an insecurity thing. He's like, well, I'm the oldest amongst you.
I argue with myself.
We can forgive you for that, Mike. It's been a little while. It's been a little while since you were on air.
I go, a coach that ushered, well, he was the boss of a team that totally collapsed.
I'm the dumbest coach in the world.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All right, check
to consult with an enemy.
First big mistake coming up.
That's a coordinator. I go, where do you get off doing?
Besides saying good morning or good afternoon on a morning show.
Nah, he's culpable.
Which isn't really a mistake.
Oh, that was weird.
All right, we're going to take a break. Here are the numbers to join in, and hopefully we'll be there's so much to talk about. We got the Phillies, we got the Olympics. Bill, believe it or not, I've forgotten the number.
610-632-0975. Mikey Miss is back, baby.
That's a nice moment there. They're bonding. Because if you can tell these are two big personalities coming together here. All right, so Mike forgets the number. That's all right, Mike. I'm sure they'll forgive you.
Like that was hard to remember. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. Bill Colarulo, Ray Dunne. We're back.
But at the same time, a little bit ironic and hilarious that he's talking about how mature and how much older he's gotten. And then he has an old person moment and forgets a number.
Back after this with your calls and more topics.
You can't write this stuff
after
people.
this.
Let's skip ahead. A little bit.
97.5.
I don't believe my first caller coming back after 2 years and 3 months is like it never left. Because normally he's the first caller. Anyway. And people would love to hear him back. Vicente from
Vicente! If you were a listener of the Mike Missanelli Show back when it was Natalie and Tyrone, you know Vicente. Let's listen to this crazy.
Hola, mi amigo Vicente!
Hola, amigo.
Are you allowed to say that on YouTube, Mo? Is that offensive?
Mikey Miss, on behalf of Deadco listeners, I want to welcome back. We're so happy and so glad that you're back. We all miss you. The time you were off, everywhere I went, my friends asked me, where's somebody, Mikey Miss? When is he coming back?
He had a podcast, Vicente. He had a podcast. You should have been recommending his podcast to people.
I'm on vacation. 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, a car service to the airport, the driver was listening.
Is that the second vacation joke he's made about his time off? Ugh. Beating a dead horse.
To 97.5. Right. With Andrew Sassunas and John Kincaid. And after recognizing my voice and accent, he was talking about you. And he asked me a bunch of questions. A shout out to DeAndre. Anyhow, I want you to hear what I heard, a dialogue between Scott Masteller and Paul Blanc.
All right, I have no idea what he's saying anymore, so let's move on.
I'm on guard for them to collapse. Don't get me wrong. I will go nuts if they do that. But right now,
Mike redeems himself.
I don't know if it's time to do it. 610-632-0975. Mike Missanelli Show, the new one. Back after this.
Oh, and another commercial. So good to be back on radio with the commercials. Hey, Mike. So it's everybody's favorite thing about radio. All right, 36. Mike talks about.
I have one question about the Olympics.
Topics. Not a hot
and it's
take,
not
but some hot
the breaking thing. I know a lot of people go, what the hell is that as an Olympic sport? Now, I don't, you always have
breaking. If you want to talk about breaking for your show, I'm sorry, we're not. That's so hack. It's too easy. It's too low.
The update. It's like even baseball.
We all know she's ridiculous. Ha 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 ha. Watch the video. It's funny. That's it. That's all you need to say about it.
Put in these new rules to modernize and give a 2024 feel. So breaking satisfies the.
But this is an example of why I do really enjoy Bill. I think he's a good match for Mike.
These old stodgy Olympic guys that run the Olympics, like they're now they're hip. So they're going into that. That's okay. But can you please explain to me? First of all, I don't know if breaking should be an Olympic sport, but that's beside the point. Explain to me this one, the artistic swimming thing where they're throwing the people in the air and doing all that stuff. Can you explain what that is for me?
You got an explanation?
I got no
right?
explanation, Bill. I was kind of hoping that you were.
When did that come into play? Did I miss this? Has this always been an Olympic sport?
They're both lost. They're both lost. They're like, Why are you talking about this?
I think I missed this too because I didn't remember this being an Olympic sport. I don't know if my brain was wiped over the last 4 years and I saw it and I just forgot about it, but I had the similar reaction to you of what are we doing here?
You got anything on that, Bill?
I got nothing. I have absolutely nothing.
Radio silence. Bill's a man of my own heart, man. Bill's one of us. Trust me, guys. Bill is one of us. All right. Let's see how the show continues to go. For Mikey, he gets some calls from some classic callers. Lamar, one of his old-time haters. Him and Bill actually getting a pretty solid debate. Go check that out for yourself. It's sometime before the 1 hour and 11-minute mark here that we're gonna skip to. Here, let's pop up there.
The blame on.
Oh my God! All right, I promise, guys, I'm gonna get the ad
On Jalen Hurts in that.
Oh,
situation.
listen, I look at Jalen Hurts and I go, he's the AI quarterback. He's the only AI quarterback, man.
a little camera jump there.
Really don't think he's human.
And you don't mean Allen.
He doesn't think Jalen Hurts is human. What?
AI quarterback. He's the only AI quarterback, man. I really don't think he's human.
And you don't mean Allen Iverson. You mean artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. He just comes off like, you ever seen a movie?
This is what I like about Mike. He's not talking about him being AI as in like he's robotic and talented. He's talking about AI. Jalen Hurts is in the stone face, stunning personality that is Jalen Hurts. I actually agree with Mike on this point. I actually agree with him on this point. But man, this is why we love Mike, man. What a way to put it.
In a movie, Mars
AI of quarterback
attacks,
wow.
where they have the aliens and they are in human form.
Yes.
He reminds me of. Now, I'm not criticizing him for that. Maybe that gets it done. He's won everywhere he's won, but he's a bizarre dude.
He's a bizarre dude. Damn, Mike. Don't call him fucking bizarre. He might hear you. Well, who cares? But bizarre. Oh my God. Like reclusive, introverted, bizarre. Man.
He's a little strange.
He's a bizarre dude. But
he says it again.
But my problem here is that you don't trust your own team to figure that out, and you go outside the chain of command. I don't get that at all.
And
He's banging on Lincoln Park, Ray.
Nice. Ray's the Garrett Stubbs of the show back there.
I interviewed.
All right. Ray's the Garrett Stubbs of the show back. Now, I'm sure they're referring to the whole fact that Garrett Stubbs like sets the vibes for the Phillies. Apparently, he's Mr. Playlist in the clubhouse. And obviously, Ray picks the music for the show. But let's just take note that they've now compared Ray. You're the Garrett Stubbs of our show. And we'll hear some stuff they have to say about Garrett Stubbs later. Just pointing it out now.
Really?
My music days. A lot of people don't remember I was a morning guy at WMMR. You don't even remember that, do you, Bill?
I don't remember you as a music guy.
Again, another odd how old Mike is reference. Mike's really insecure about his age in this situation. He mentioned he was nervous. He admitted he was nervous, so we can work with that.
Is the starting pitching what we thought it was?
Listen, your cause for concern is admirable. I mean, Ray, you have this concern?
No.
Yeah, you don't have the concern, right?
No, I really don't have the concern with it. I mean, I just want to see Ranger get back out there, but that's
the kid. The kid doesn't even have the concern. What is that?
The kid doesn't even. He keeps calling him the kid. It's the third time. The kid. I don't think Ray wants you calling him the kid. We'll see. I don't know if Ray's gonna stick up for himself to you, Mike. I mean, you're like a superstar in his mind, and he works with you, under you. You were there when he got hired. You were a big shot. Now you're back. He's not going to tell you he doesn't like being called the kid. We'll see how that goes.
Does that mean because he hasn't been soured by past disappointments?
Yeah, in 20 years.
Is that why Ray has that?
All right, what Jerome, another hater, calls him. And, oh, my God, this caller, Mitch, who feels the need to make the same joke that he's been on hold for 2 years twice. Mitch, if they didn't laugh the first time, they didn't think it was all that funny, or they just ignored it because it was a lame joke in the first place.
Curtis in Overbrook. What's up, Curtis?
Hey, Mike, what's going on, Mike?
How you doing, Curtis?
Curtis, ready to dish out some disrespect to the co-hosts.
Man, listen.
This has legitimately been the biggest problem so far with Mike Missanelli's show, The Return, is that you have so many people who are so that's part of like the bit in the beginning there. You have so many people that are so excited for Mike to they're so excited for Mike to return that they don't realize they're being really rude to his co-hosts. Check this out.
And I haven't called since you left. And honestly, this is the first time I've called since you left. I wasn't going to Fanatic Fest this year because you and Ant weren't there. Like, listen, you have no idea how excited I am for you to be back. And maybe now.
Jesus, Bill's sitting right next to him, dude. You weren't going to go to the Fanatic Fest just because Mike and Ant weren't there? Well, I got news for you, buddy. Ant ain't coming back.
I'll come back to Sports Talk Radio because like I pretty much given up on Sports Talk.
Oh, you tune us in every day, Curtis.
Yeah,
that's your mission.
I certainly will. Only problem is I'm in the basement of a building downtown, so I'm gonna have to figure out if you guys are doing over YouTube and then listen.
They're on YouTube right now. We're watching them right now, Kurt. All right, enough of Curtis, the rocket scientist here. All right, 206. 206. That's our next time code. Curtis, you stank.
Being able to have something to always protect myself with this Sperna allows me to have that peace of mind no matter.
The premium
with LOL.
Ready to go.
Not LOL, right?
Yeah, not LOL. LOL.
LOL. And then Micah Parsons retweeted the LOL of CD Lamb, who also wants a new contract. So things are falling apart.
This is like takes me back to the days before Ray was born, when Norman Brayman was the freaking owner, and we went to go.
Has to mention Ray's age again. There's more to Ray, I'm sure, than just his age, Mike. All right.
That kind of stuff all the time.
Thank God I don't remember much of that.
All right.
Thankfully.
Bill just give Ray a look with like a, why does he keep sunning you, man? I think he gave him a look. Look, real quick.
Up all the time.
Thank God I don't remember much of that.
All right. Go through that kind of stuff all the time.
Thank God I don't remember much of that.
All right.
Thankfully.
Let's move. There's a little something there. It might be a little bit cringed out by Mike, just a little bit. That's all right, Bill. You're going to have the hardest time because Ray's just going to be able to kind of fall right in line. Mike is kind of star-striking him, but you are more close to Mike's peer. And in some ways above him as a former player. So, it'll be a little for two men to meet as equals, much more difficult, right? Than for two men to meet as like, okay, you're going to be in charge and I'm just going to follow you. Villain and henchman, if you will. But that's the relationship you need. A good co-host relationship is a villain henchman style relationship. All right, we want to go to 2038, which is right here.
It is the Mike Missanelli Show. Yeah, I'm back after a long hiatus, working with Bill Colarulo and Ray Dunne, young Ray Dunne, as they call him.
Young Ray Dunne, as literally nobody has ever referred to him as, Mike, except for you
on the promo. He's young. He's a young kid.
He is a young kid, but
that kid.
The more you spend time with him, you'll realize he's older than the both of us.
And all right, check this out. Bill finally stands up for Ray. He's like, stop just referring to him as the young kid. And he looks in the same direction.
He is a young kid, but that kid. The more you spend time with him, you'll realize he's older than the both of us.
Yep. He's looking towards Ray.
Oh, man. I've been hearing about this. So explain what this is. Because I used to say this about Andrew Salchunas.
All right. Good for Bill. This is why we love Bill, man. He finally stuck up for Ray. Again, I just don't think Ray's going to stick up for himself just yet to Mike. He's still a little starstruck by Mike. That's okay.
Obviously. But I will take all suggestions.
Okay.
Look at that. Mike is open to suggestions for the show. And this is probably the biggest reveal of the episode. Mike has turned over a new leaf. Check it out.
Good, because everyone's been missing it. Let me tell you something. Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
Mike, how you make so much sense with your sports knowledge that it's
Mike, it makes so much sense with the sports knowledge.
It's been abysmal scene for 2 years. But when it comes to politics, you're way off. Why?
But when it comes to politics, you're way off. Why? Okay, Mike, you got a response?
Yeah, well, this is where I have an announcement to make. I'm not speaking about politics anymore. I know people like
what?
A guy like Josh is like the typical example of a guy on the other side who's been, been.
Don't break your own rule.
Yeah. But I'm not doing it anymore. So,
do you think Mike can actually stick to this? This will be one of the main tests of this show, especially on an election year. I'm sure there's like an order from the bosses. Don't talk about politics. If you can, throw a Joe Biden. He's a meaningless politician who's completely about to fall off the face into irrelevancy. Why don't you throw him under the bus? They don't want Mike talking about politics. So the real question is, can Mike deny his nature as a human being and go against his fundamental need to get into it with people about politics? Maybe on his show, maybe he can satisfy his itch online enough that he manages to get by.
All the people that have given me hate over the years for that. There's no reason to give me hate anymore. It's all about love, baby. It's all about.
Fair enough. What do you say? Or if you're a conservative Trumper who has gotten into it with Mike in the last 6 years or 8 years since Trump was first elected? Damn, you believe that? I'm just saying, man, time's flown. Comment below. You willing to turn over? Mike's turned over a new leaf. You willing to break bread with him?
All about love. Well, apparently, I'm too exhausted by politics to even talk about him.
Apparently,
that's a lie.
Apparently not, because
he thought. Yeah, I agree with you, Bill. Apparently not.
Me and Ray have been on the radio the last 6 months, and you've been on for 2 years, Ray. And it's the guy just said without Mike, there was no one who had any knowledge about sports on the radio.
Oh. So Bill's starting to voice his concerns here that the fan base is like on all Mike Missanelli, which I mean, to be fair, if you look at like the Mike Missanelli podcast, you're averaging like 5. We'll check it out a little bit later in the stream, but you're averaging like 500 to around 5,000 views in the upper area. I mean, I don't know how many people have flooded over to this show just for Mike. That being said, look at this, baby. 8,900 views and climbing, man. By far the top live stream that they've had ever, maybe.
Well, that was John. You got to take it in consideration. That's
John. But we'll take it. But the general knowledge thing, just so you know, we are live on YouTube, Mike. And
all right, that's just hilarious. I just wanted to show Bill being just a little bit butthurt about the fact that the callers keep dissing him right to his face. He's right to stand up to the man. Don't the co-host is supposed to have an aspect of unlikability to them. The fans should be allowed to antagonize them, and the co-host back to the fans, but to an extent. But yeah, you don't want to start getting walked all over. That's never fun. Nobody wants to exist in that.
Look at his batting average and his presence in the locker.
All right. So remember earlier they compared Ray Dunne. They called him the Stubbs of their show.
I think that he's good for the team.
Listen, in his capacity, I've got like I haven't woke up. I really got to get rid of that Garrett Stubbs. He to me is like almost irrelevant.
He's fine as a backup.
I don't even know if he's fine as a backup.
No, Ray fine as a backup,
but a backup is not needed. Really,
that's why.
When you come down to the nitty gritty,
much like a lot of radio producers in the professional industry, just say Ray does a great job. Just say it. I mean, here's the job. I'm pressing a button. I'm changing a camera. I'm adjusting your microphone level. You could do that yourself while running the show. You could.
He's fine as a guy who's only going to play once every 5 days
during the regular season
and not
anyway. I just
play it all in the postseason.
Correct.
And I was in support of him staying up here.
They're shitting all over Stubbs. They just compared their producer to Stubbs. It's messed up, man.
But if Ramuto's out for an extended period of time,
shame on Bill and Mike there. All right, let's skip ahead right after a break here to 2:36. And I've got 44 written down, so let's get a little closer to that.
Wait till tomorrow.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, Ray, during the last few months, there have been some topics that I've gotten hammered.
Why does that sound familiar?
On social media with. There you go. That's the hammer. Now, I don't even know if they use the hammer anymore when they build.
Oh, I know someone who uses the hammer. Joe DeCamera, 94.1 WIP, your number one rivals. Now, to be fair, the segment Mike is about to pitch here is completely different in concept than Joe DeCamera taking on listeners and fans in Philadelphia sports trivia, Beat the Hammer. But it is a little odd that you would want to go with a name like Mike Gets Hammered or Mike's Getting Hammered for this opinion, whatever it's called, when there's already a Philadelphia sports talk show and host who, I mean, if you were to say Hammer, Philadelphia Sports Talk, to most listeners of Philadelphia Sports Talk, they go, oh, yeah, Joe DeCamera and the trivia thing he does. Interesting. It's close.
Right? So it's all electronics, like the nail gun.
The same. But
yeah, the hard answers on that one.
Yeah, I know.
It's good.
Bill has seen it, right? So
I do remember the
Snoop.
nail gun. Yes.
Snoop goes in and buys the nail gun at like a Home Depot.
I do remember.
If you haven't,
okay, they're talking about The Wire now. All right, yeah, let's definitely move on. 2:45. The cameras go completely berserk here, and you have to see this to believe it. It's nuts.
Quentin Mitchell apparently is looking good playing in that spot. So we'll see. It's all about young kids making mistakes.
At all.
That's the peril of it.
It's exciting that they're young, but at the same time, that's why there's so many question
marks.
Yeah. You don't know what you have.
To me, I look at it and I go, okay, question mark. Even though they had a personal question mark is what kind of rush do they get? I don't know that yet. I mean, that's something I have to see. You have to see all this stuff. Like the linebacker situation. The new guys look good early on, but who knows?
The only sure thing on the defense.
What the fuck was that, man? Are those cameras like automatic? Were they like spazzing out or something like that? That was completely insane. That was unprofessional as fuck. All right, let's skip up to 3:10. The final hour of the show, gets a little bit boring, but we're gonna cover it anyway. Not boring, but
By the way, have you ever commented on Game 6 and 7 in your podcast?
Oh, I went crazy on Game 6 and 7 on my podcast.
What was going on, Michael?
Yeah.
Why weren't you listening to us? Yet another caller wants to know what the hell Mike was up to when his podcast was going on. Let's go ahead and see what we can do here. So let me pull up this. I mean, if I had a nickel for every one of these people that calls up, it's like, Mike, what'd you think during Game 6 and Game 7? Well, just go onto his podcast and listen to what he said during Game 6 and 7. It's disrespectful. Now, granted, 2,000, 3.6K, obviously the absolute collapse. These are getting bigger numbers. Then, you got kind of your basic episode. This is what I'm talking about with like the 556, 745, talking about Joel Embiid with the Celtics, 2.3K, 3K. The Eagles can't lose. Mike kind of giving a big prediction there. 4.3. That's a pretty good episode from Mike. But then we're down to, 613 again. I just feel like Mike was never able to find his stride with the podcast. I just don't see this thing staying alive. This is part Cataldi and Mike joining forces with their audiences. But again, it's like the only time he's broken 10K. I mean, and again, we'd love to break 10K on this channel, but I don't know, man. When you got the clout of Mike Missanelli, I just would expect a little bit more per episode. And let's see about the most recent ones, 6.5, 5.1, 539, 12, 395, 538. Yeah, again, very very inconsistent, kind of a very hit or miss situation with that. Let's get back to the actual thing that we're here to cover. The Mike Missanelli show. Mike Missanelli show returns. It's not the Mike Missanelli show. It's just Mike Miss.
I was stunned by the whole development. I couldn't believe it. I really.
That was all new and all different in sports.
Yeah,
Again,
really.
Don't call Mike and be like, what did you think about this? He probably talked about it on his podcast, and none of you listened to his podcast, which is why he's back on radio. Because again, you're not as big as dedicated of a fan as me. It's not a competition. We're all here to support just good talk radio. All right, going to a break here. Mike has his first real big mistake of the day, but it's not his only mistake of the day. He tries to
very sweet. Kira, try to keep him nice. He's been very nice today.
We caught you, Mike.
As someone who's done the tailgate scene up there at Penn State,
I mean, that whole thing broke that week.
I can imagine.
Like, boom.
But James Franklin, whether or not you like him as a coach for the Penn State Nittany Lions, he almost ruined things for the Philadelphia Eagles opening his mouth.
He did.
What did they say?
He did shoot up his mouth.
What are the two most important lessons, Mike?
Don't
rattle your friends and keep your mouth shut. Come on, James Franklin, be better.
Coming, we'll take a break. On the other side, it is the one story of one at one, and we're 12 minutes late.
It's currently 1:15 in like real time.
This is the first mistake I've made today, Ray.
No, it's not, Mike. You said good afternoon when it's good morning. Small mistake, and you forgot the number. That's really your second mistake of the day.
Producer's mistake on that one.
I messed up. No, that was my bad. I should have got right into that. So it's one story at one coming up.
All right, let's skip to after this.
What is that? Everybody Loves Raymond? Is that what that is?
I don't know.
Everybody Loves Raymond.
That is the everybody.
Oh, it is?
Hey, Ray's here. Yeah, everybody loves Raymond.
I hate that show.
Mike hates that show.
I hate.
Mike hates Raymond. Well, guess what? Here on Blunt Plunk Reviews, formerly Blunt Philly Reviews, we love Everybody Loves Raymond, and you have a chance to walk away with Everybody Loves Raymond season 4 today. Look at this, baby. Old school DVDs, you know, you've got them all, the whole cast, Robert, the mom, some other bullshit characters. Mike hates Everybody Loves Raymond. So if you love Mike Missanelli, enter to win, and you can send this to him. And if you hate Mike Missanelli, enter to win. You can watch it in spite of him. How do you enter to win? Comment below and say, hey, I want Everybody Loves Raymond 4th season. And then I'll email you from there. We'll email me. The email is on the channel. Email me and we'll get it to you.
It shows that illustrate a henpecked husband.
I do. There's something deeply psychological there. Mike hates a show that illustrates a hen-pecked husband. Very interesting. What's up with Mike's hair too, man? Every guy like around this age, early 70s, going to his 80s, has this dye job, this beige hair color that no human being has naturally. Just a nice solid beige. Sorry, Mike, I don't mean to pick on your dye job there. I just think most older dudes would look way better with their gray or their salt and pepper. Just go natural. I don't know. I ain't dying when it's the time. I'll tell you that much. Let's get towards the end of the show though here. Sorry, Mike, didn't mean to pick on your hair. Maybe that was a little bit low. Who cares? Who gives a shit? We're gonna go to 340. He doesn't care.
Same old.
He doesn't care.
Reliability on that offensive line.
I agree, man. As a loyalist, I'm diehard. Let's go Birds. And lastly, Mike, welcome back again, man. You know, I don't want to say I tapped out, but I kind of listened a little less, but I'm back.
Bill lifts the chin. He's like, no, I want any motherfucking piece of fucking shit. How many of these people is he gonna have to listen to, man? these Mike feet kissers.
I'm fully on board.
Well, thanks, Ted. I appreciate you hanging in there. Hey, Bill, when you look at we haven't even brought up that offensive line part. Is that significant with the center and right guard?
That's crazy.
Mike hasn't even stood up for his co-host Bill here, or the kid Ray Dunne. He hasn't been like, well, I'm doing the show with two really great guys, so the three of us are really going to be blazing forth like a new thing. No, he's just been like, thank you. I know. Thank you. Please. It's too much. It's too much. Okay. Well, let's move ahead to 3:51:30. Oh, I'm like a minute behind here. There you go.
That. And it's not always easy to do.
I don't even know if they can beat the AL
seizure warning
team, to be honest with you. I'm just thinking
what is that? Boom, 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 boom. Just say it one more time again. Seizure warning.
These are busts for this Phillies team. They have to win the World Series.
I would agree with that.
And it's not always easy to do.
I don't even know if they can beat the AL team, to be honest with you. I'm just thinking they.
That's schizophrenic, man. All right, let's see how the show wraps up. I'm gonna end it on a really nice call here. I see a lot of love for Mike, man. Obviously, why would you bother waiting on that line? Just to talk some trash to him, and you can just do it for free and real quick on Twitter. He's gonna read it. He's gonna respond. But let's end it on a nice call.
Get the bye, set up your rotation.
Yeah. All right, let's get our last caller today in here. Robbie in South Jersey. What's up, Robbie?
Hey, Mike, long-time listener. So glad you're back on.
Thanks, brother.
There's great talent in sports. I think you have a real unique talent in what you do. I think it's a variety of skills like great athletes. I think you're smart. I think you're palatable. I think you're funny. I think you're passionate. I think you can laugh at yourself. I've been through some tough.
It's all very nice. It's just, come on, man. You're a grown man. You're talking to another grown man. All right, leave it at you're multifaceted. You're skilled. I'm so glad you're
seasons in life here or there, and it's just like almost therapeutic sometimes to listen to you.
You're basically like my dad. I never had a great relationship with my father. I'm waiting for him to say this stuff.
Yeah. Working a hard.
Sorry, this is supposed to be the nice call to end the whole coverage on.
Job, doing that kind of stuff. So I'm just thrilled you're back, man.
That's Robbie. That's the nicest thing I've heard. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That was really nice.
Respect.
Thank you, buddy.
Respect, Robbie. Respect.
I appreciate that. Was a nice way.
That was a great call.
Yeah,
and Mike,
Robbie touched me with it.
I do want to say, since we're being kind right now, it is surreal for me to be here with you, my man. You are.
Well, so there you have it, people. I mean, that's pretty much it. Bill and Ray, express how much they're looking forward to doing the show with Mike. Mike kind of doesn't really know how to react. Again, doesn't really pay it in kind to them, if you will. But overall, man, I like what I'm seeing. It's great to have Mike back on the radio. I'll tell you, for my money's worth, there's just nothing worth watching at 97.5, the Fanatic anymore, except for Mike. So now we got Mike on middays. We can check this out every now and then. I'm only gonna bring you the best with like the variety stuff. This is kind of like special edition coverage. What's it like to have Mike back? What did you miss? What was the big announcements? What did he do to diss Howard Eskin? Well, you saw he called him the kissing R that he is. It's certainly SA. We won't go R, but certainly some SA going on there. You cannot deny. But I do, Howard Eskin aside, I do think that they got a really, really great thing going on here between Mike and Bill. That's actually a really good pairing. Bill's not like going to cower to Mike and just like, oh, just do whatever you want, which a lot of times with strong personalities, you tend to have that with the co-host. They just get bowled over. Again, for my money's worth, it was the one thing that Tyrone with Mike was always really great at. He matched his energy super well, and they worked off each other really, really well. Ray is going to be fine too, man. He's really good at his job. He just needs to learn how to not kowtow so much to Mike. Like, dude, be your own man. Learn to stick up to him just a little bit. You're doing fine. I know. Starstruck. He's a big deal, but don't let the old vet sun you, okay? Stick up for yourself just a little bit. There's one thing I think that this show honestly needs, and it's a chick. The one thing that they are seriously missing is a chick on this show, but there's no way that BZ Media is going to hire a fourth personality. Like, get a girl or at least like a little bit of a different personality. Just get I don't know, someone who's black or Hispanic or Asian, just had some kind of different background other than coming from a middle-aged white guy, being a middle-aged, over middle-aged, and or approaching middle-aged. They do, now that I think about it, they do have kind of like a the maiden, the mother, and the crone kind of a setup here with the Mike Missanelli show. So let me know what you think. Do you think that they need another personality on that show? Do you think they're good as it is? Do you hate that Mike Missanelli is back on the radio? Do you absolutely love it? Leave that comment below. And if you are interested in that 4th season of Everybody Loves Raymond, make sure that you go ahead and put that in your comment. Again, first person that reaches out to me with email address, that email is on the it's on the information page, the about page there. And the email for this page is Blunt Philly Reviews, PHILLY. So Blunt Philly Reviews. Again, you can see that though on there. You just got to prove that you're not a robot. But I thank you for sticking around, everybody. We'll be with you in just a couple of days. We'll check back in this weekend with not just talk radio news, but really all the news that's been going on in Philadelphia. But until next time, take care, and we shall.